So Jake Paul has called out Conor McGregor quite a few times throughout the years.
He's shorter. He weighs like 170 pounds. I weigh 210 naturally.
You're scared to fight me, Conor? I'm getting out of the fight business, so I'm telling you, the whiskey is where it's at.
All right, check it. My new $100,000 NyQuil McGregor, Sleepy McGregor chain.
He's 5'9". My reach is longer. He gets gassed, first of all. He's out of his prime.
Conor McGregor never really acknowledged Jake's callouts until more recently. Jake Paul criticized Conor McGregor's recent training footage, and Jake Paul said this: "This is embarrassing. Your chin is wide open with no head movement. For the problem child, right hand of God." McGregor finally responded to Jake Paul with this video.
Jackass.
So Dana White went on Jake Paul's brother's podcast, Logan Paul, and was asked about possibly making Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor. So let's check out what Dana White had to say. What's going on? I do respect about Dana White. Yes, he gets a lot of criticism for not paying his fighters, but at the end of the day, Dana White is a really smart businessman, and he understands Jake Paul does have a lot of fans, and that's why he isn't ruling.
Ready for that?
You're a very calm person. I've never seen you get like really riled up.
I'm old and tired. I don't get fired up like I used to.
Dana White is making it come off like he really doesn't mind Jake Paul, and maybe it's because he's on his brother's podcast, but I've seen some other interviews of Dana White talking about Jake Paul, and he definitely wasn't this nice.
The most successful combat sports business of all time. And what we do here is completely different than what him and his brother are doing. It's just not what we do. There's a market for what these guys do, and there's money to be made in it.
So obviously the UFC is the most successful combat sports company of all time. It's not even close. No one has been able to do what the UFC has been able to do in such a short amount of time. But the UFC is going to continue to receive criticism until they start paying their fighters more money, until they start offering their fighters health insurance. Until that happens, I think the UFC will still catch a lot of flack from people like Jake Paul and a lot of people out there who are very critical of the UFC not paying their fighters a fair amount of money. Dana White just said. Dana just confirmed that Jake Paul would beat Conor McGregor, and it's not because Jake Paul has more skill or he has more experience. It's simply because he's a lot bigger. People forget that Conor McGregor used to fight at 145 pounds all the way up to 170 pounds, which in my opinion, he shouldn't fought at 170 pounds because he simply isn't that big. Yes, he can put some weight on, but he's always gonna be a shorter man, and he's also gonna have a shorter reach. And with Jake Paul being the bigger man, he has a lot more power than Conor. So if he connects and hits Conor right on the button, I mean, I don't care who you are. If you're around Jake's size, especially if you're smaller than Jake, I mean, you're going night-night. I couldn't agree with Dana White more. There's obviously weight classes for a reason. And listen, Conor McGregor definitely has a lot more skill than Jake Paul, way more experience. If they were the same size, it wouldn't even be close.
Exactly.
I don't think so.
That's in his weight class, not even close.
So do I see this fight happening one day? I mean, it's possible. Dana White said it himself. He's not completely ruling out that this fight could still happen despite the size difference, because at the end of the day, it is a very lucrative fight. This fight makes Jake Paul a lot of money, and especially makes Conor McGregor a lot of money, because you know he would be the A side if this fight ever happened. If it's an MMA fight, I'm obviously giving it to Conor. I still think Conor wins despite the size difference, but if we're talking about boxing, just striking, Jake Paul is going to win. And who knows, maybe in 5 years when Conor McGregor has been retired for a few years, and maybe he wants to pick up, you know, a quick check, the Jake Paul fight will still be there. Jake Paul is still very young, and it wouldn't surprise me if someday someone makes this fight happen. Maybe Triller, maybe one of these other companies who does these YouTuber fights, they could make this fight happen, and they would both make a boatload of money. So yeah, I honestly could see this fight happening. It makes sense financially, and at the end of the day, they're both in the fight game to make the most amount of money possible. Anyways, guys, that will do it for this video. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. I hope I catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.
August, I'm back, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Don't tell Tommy we back in camp, baby. He's been working. He's scared to sign the contract.
Jackass.